Hey guys! All right, I know a couple of you couldn't make it on the call, but we're just gonna get started. Hi, Katie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, but I'm bathing the baby, so I'm gonna mute for a minute while you
Okay.
guys talk.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay.
So I had Kelly asking about how to do use products as promotions or how to use that on your site. So she just signed up her husband and got the sample packets. So I wanted to kind of share what I do when someone's kind of like timid and thinking about stuff. Like, well, you know what? I always send people one sample packet. If you want more than that, they're $5 a piece. If I need to ship them, that just helps cover shipping costs. And then from there, if they want more packets, then I just have them pay me on PayPal or Venmo. I have both of those. So it's really easy to, just have that exchange, and it gets Shakeology in their system. And it's really cool because some people feel energy from it right off the bat. Some people just feel full, like they usually munch through the morning and they just are good till lunchtime. Or I love hearing how different people, even from one day of Shakeology, how much better they feel. So basically, I'll send them however many packets, whatever. I don't think I have a thing right here, but I keep, and these are all business expenses, you guys. So I keep some packets like this and big ones on hand. And then, oh, Sam likes this. And then I will send them, that little Shakeology brochure that comes in your challenge pack. You can buy those as a coach resource. Let me see if I can pull that up for you while I talk. So I send them like, what can Shakeology do for you? And then I just take a copy of the month's recipes so they can see that they are set up with great resources for having a good shake that's not going to get monotonous. Even though we usually end up liking one recipe a lot and kind of dive in with it. But so I'll do that. And then at the top of that month's calendar, I handwrite them a little note of like, hey girl, so what you're going to do is pick a recipe that looks good to you. I've starred my favorites, and it's usually like the peanut butter banana one and like a coconut one. And like I just do 1 cup almond milk and between a half cup and a cup of ice, plus the ingredients and the full packet of Shakeology, and I blend it up. And it's awesome, or something like that. And then I'll say, please message me after you've tried it so I know what you think and how it makes you feel. And then sometimes I'll put in a little personal note too of just like how Shakeology's helped me. I'll just share like a little testimony of Shakeology for myself and what I've. Okay, I'm nannying right now. And how Shakeology's helped some of my challengers and coaches. And so, that's what I do when I send off those sample packs. So I'm adding value behind it. As far as promotional stuff, you can do whatever you want. So it can be Beachbody programs. I've done like the 21 Day Fix giveaway. And so on a post, I'll announce it like at the beginning of the week or however long you want to do it. It could be 3 days, it could be a full week. And there's so many angles to take it, but one that I've done, you just want it, the simpler the better. I've done like a 3-step thing and like nobody did it. People are so lazy, which I am too when people post stuff like that. So honestly, you could do like this post and comment below to get a ballot in, and your comment and like tag a friend, and that'll get you 2 ballots if you like it, and if you tag a friend that you think could benefit from this. And so that gives you a little bit more exposure, and people are liking and commenting, so that ups how Facebook's going to share your post. So yeah, kind of a couple things like that. This last month, I had like 4 people sitting on the fence on September 30th. And so I actually sent out a message, and I made like a little thing on Rona Designs, and I said $30 off any Shakeology pack purchase today. And I had a couple people respond, and one girl was so super close, and then they didn't end up doing it. But that's something that Laura and I have had in like our Diamond Dash. That was like a new thing. They said, do a promotion for anyone who's looking into the product. So, you know, on the flip side of that, you wouldn't have to offer the cash. You could just be like, for anyone who signs up today, and I've done this with coaching, for anyone who signs up as a coach by tonight at 10 p.m., you will either receive size, the full program on top of your challenge pack, or if there's a couple of you, then we'll do a drawing for it. And that's actually moved a lot of people to just hop on and start coaching. Actually, I think, Kelly, I did that with you and Jennifer Roby. Yeah, and then I think Jennifer won the 21-day fix. So if you have extra programs around, or even just the extra discs that they send, you can totally use that as a way to boost your business. You can do it at the end of challenge groups. I was going to look at our September challenge group today and give this away, and you post on your social media about it. And so it's kind of fun to be posting about giving stuff away, because that catches people's eye, because everybody likes free stuff. So Kelly, I hope that answers your question, and that's a little bit of insight. Laura, do you have anything to add to that?
No, those ideas were perfect, and that's what we've been kind of on the same page. So
yeah. And then as far as sending stuff, I was realizing I was sending off a lot of Shakeology packets, and I'd follow up for like a week or two. And if they didn't purchase, I wasn't tracking it. And I'd kind of lose track of like, oh, who did I send that to last month? And I couldn't remember. And so it's upstairs in a folder. I just put together an Excel sheet of like date sent, what they were interested in, and like, the flavor of Shakeology that I sent them. So I can, in 4 months follow up and be like, hey, is now a better time? Because people come around. They really do. So just make sure you're tracking who you're sending those samples to and linking up with like that, because it's like outside of the digital norm, so it wasn't making it on my normal tracker sheets. All right, so telling your story. Laura and I are in an awesome Facebook like training, and one of their modules was, oh, you're such a good princess. I just need it quiet for a second, okay? Okay, thanks. So at the end of them explaining, bits and pieces, and Laura and I are going to be sharing these into our team page, just bits and pieces of it, so you guys can benefit as well, because this training's been awesome. So in telling your story, we just have a questionnaire to do. And so we're kind of split. Laura, were you able to see who else, or is that just Katie's blacked out? Oh, that's just Katie's. I get it now. Okay, I was thinking it was 2 different people. Okay, so let me pull up the form. Actually, in our page, I'm uploading it right now. So this is something, as you sign up coaches, this is something you should do with your coaches and have them figure out what their story is and how to do it. So, and how to share that, because that's truly the human connection that's made. And it's so true. I can't remember if it's in the training or the book I'm reading, but they talked about the mirror neurons that are in our brains that really connect us with someone. And at the end of the day, we want people to be in our story. So the 2 examples he gave, which are quite different, but one of them was Jesus Christ, and how many millions and millions of people Jesus Christ has moved through years and years of time because of his story and how it's told, and how the integrity behind him living, practice what you preach type thing. Another story that's fictional and totally different, Katniss Everdeen. from the Hunger Games and how moving she is and why is she that way and how does she bring people into her story. And so those were just two really good examples that I latched onto. Lara, do you have anything that you want to share that stood out to you about?
No. Sorry. I'm so tired.
No, you're fine. I just jump in if you do want to.
No, yeah. You're good.
Okay.
Those were great.
Okay. Sounds good. You're so funny.
I started the reset this morning.
Okay.
And I've already gone to the bathroom. This is gross, but like 4 times. And it's just like kind of draining me.
Draining. Yeah. Does it have laxatives in it then?
I don't think so. It's all cleansing. But anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, ugh. And normally I have Energize and work out and stuff, and I'm like, whoa.
So do you not exercise for 21 days or is it just yoga?
You can do light. So I'm going to do the 3-week yoga retreat on it.
Cool.
But yeah, it's basically I really felt like I needed to cleanse my body, first of all. And then also I've been on this plateau for so long, and I'm hoping this will help me just be more disciplined with my nutrition, because I really have a hard time with that. And I am one that needs like a schedule and like, okay, eat this at this time and this at this time. And then that really helps me. So, so it goes, there's 3 different phases because it's 3 weeks, and I'm on day 1.
Well, it'll go fast.
Yeah, it will. And I feel okay. It's just, I'm just tired.
Yeah, I've seen such incredible results from that too.
Yeah.
So cool.
For
I'm
sure.
excited to see yours. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where the Coach products are to show you guys. Do you remember, Lar? I just went to the back office and couldn't see them, so I'm on Shop All Products. Just where to get like flyers or, oh, here we go. Okay, let me share the page.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so from the home screen, and you might have to be logged in to see this. But I went to shop all programs, or all whatever it says, all products. And then on the left here, Coach products and tools. So you can see you can get like shaker cups, 6-pack for just $10. And then Lara got those totes in her original sign up, right? I've purchased that before, and I still have some on hand. That's the guide that I send with my Shakeology, just because I think it's so informative. But something that's more lightweight, this brochure is much more lightweight and cheaper, 24-pack. And so next time I order, I'll probably just do that one because it'll decrease shipping costs and it's just cheaper anyway. And it has a lot of the same information. So yeah, some tools for you to send off with any samples if that helps. Okay, so now I have, where did the Team Be Awesome page go? I must have accidentally clicked out of it. You eating my hand, dude? I have just, I've uploaded this interview sheet onto our Team Be Awesome page. And I just wanted to make sure it went through. Yeah, okay, so the interview effect right there. So let's just jump into it. Hey, buddy, what's happening? And all right, so getting interviewed or just having a discussion with somebody about your story is one of the most effective ways to see how much incredible value you have to share. The best part is there are no right or wrong answers to any of the following questions. There's only your experience and how you want to frame and share that experience with the people you want to reach and turn into your top performing Beachbody team members. But that's not all, because by learning the skill of being interviewed, and it is a skill, you'll be able to turn around and perform the exact same favor for your new team members. And let's get real. You ideally want to post fresh new content onto your Facebook like page as many times a day as you possibly can. Likewise, you need plenty of ideas to write your dark posts when you get to that point. So getting interviewed, and those dark posts are the sponsored ones when you're going through your news feed that kind of pop up that just look like someone's story. That's what a dark post is. So getting interviewed helps you discover an abundance of material you have inside of you, just waiting to come out. With that in mind, here's some questions. So this is where it's so powerful because basically, you know, we have these stories in the forefront of our mind. And then as you're looking at other coaches, you start, at least I've started, you know, to like, oh, Melanie Mitchell is doing that. I should do something like that. Oh, Mike is doing something like that. I should do something like that. But no, like the times that I've been the most successful, I've actually had my blinders on. And yeah, you can get inspiration from them or, you know, but there's just so much power in yourself and in your story. So, all right, Laura, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
And Katie will be next, and then you guys can ask me. So we'll just kind of do a round robin. And then what you're going to want to do is after this call, I'll post it. You're going to want to come back on and transcribe verbatim how you tell your story. So it's like you're talking to someone, and that's what you're going to use in your posts. Okay, so Lara, what is your story? In other words, how did you fall down the rabbit hole of needing to transform yourself physically and emotionally so you can either once again or for the first time in your life reach your true physical, emotional, and even spiritual potential? So tell us your story, Lara.
I'm kind of going to go back to what I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I'll try to be really fast. My brain. So I was sitting on my couch on New Year's Eve, and my kids were around me, and there was candy everywhere, and I actually had a stomach bug, and I just felt like crap. And I was looking at all the candy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have a total sugar addiction. I am totally addicted to all this candy. And even though I wasn't eating it at that moment because I was sick, I made the decision. I was like, I'm so sick of feeling so not like myself. I'm so sick of feeling heavy and not having energy and not feeling good about myself. Like when I look in the mirror, I hated my reflection. And I decided, I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm already throwing everything up. So I'm going to not have sugar for the next week. And so if I get better, I'm not going to have sugar. I'm just going to go 1 week without having any treats. And I made it for the whole week. And I remember I had headaches, and I didn't feel that great because of the headaches and stuff. And then I made it for the week, and I was like, you know what? By the end of the week, I actually was feeling better and had more energy, and the headaches were gone. And so I was like, I've gone a week. I'm going to go another week. And so I went another week. And then after 2 weeks, I was like, I am rocking this. I can totally go a month. And I just continued like that. So I went a whole month without having sugar and candy. And then I went 2 months, and pretty soon, it was a whole year that I had gone. And I felt awesome. And the crazy thing with my story is that my body holds on to everything. And so it didn't believe me when I stopped eating sugar. It didn't believe me after 2 months. It didn't believe me after 5 months. But at month 6, I went down 2 pant sizes, and I just started losing all the weight. And I started feeling, even though I was feeling good and having more energy, I was still like, what the crap? Like, I'm not eating sugar. I'm eating better. I have, this extra energy, but my body was like, I don't believe you. And so I made it that year, and I was low. My weight ended up being lower than when we got married. And I knew that I was going to be okay, that everything I was doing was like, and that's when I actually met someone who was involved with Beachbody, and I wanted to do some Disney races, and I was so excited to do it. And then I found out I was pregnant, and it was like all of that hard work that I had done. And it had been hard work for like 6 years since I had Samara, 5 years. And anyways, it was like, I was excited that I was pregnant, but at the same time, I was really scared, and I was sad that I would lose the momentum that I had, because my pregnancies are so rough, and it was really hard on me. So I didn't join Beachbody at that moment, but right after I had my little guy, Audrey told me she had become a coach, and I was like, well, that's awesome, because that's what I wanted to do. And I signed up really quickly after that. And it's just been an awesome journey. Since I signed up 2 years ago, almost 2 years, 2 years in November, and I've lost another 50 pounds. And now I am doing this Ultimate Reset, and I've kind of hit that point again where I'm like, that's it. I need to do something that will like bust through whatever this is that's going on with me right now. And so I'm really excited to see my results in 3 weeks and a week and tomorrow. And
what I love about Beachbody, it's a journey, and they understand that. And so they keep having awesome stuff. Just, you're never out of, I don't know if you heard the National Wake Up Call today. It wasn't quite what I was expecting, but she still just reiterated the point of how important it is to lock into a program and to have, something that you're working towards. So, all right, Katie, how about you? Let's hear your story.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Can you hear me?
Rabbit hole.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. Didn't know if I did it right. Well, I guess this is the part that I struggle with, because I feel I don't really have a story, but I guess I do.
You totally do.
I don't have any like huge moment that just kind of hit me like an aha moment, but I was always kind of a skinny kid. I never really had to deal with or struggle with weight, and kind of ate like crap my whole teenage years in high school and stuff like that. And then when I got married, I lost a bunch of weight because I went on birth control, and I didn't know that I had like weight to lose, but I lost all this weight, and I was like, oh, I feel really good. I feel really thin and feel really good about myself. And I had started exercising at that point and liked it. And then we had some struggles with infertility and struggled getting our first 2 kids here. And I continued with my exercise. After my daughter was born 8 years ago, a couple years later, we decided to do this P90X challenge. And I had done some of the P90 program, but wasn't like super into it. But we did the P90X, and my OCD kicked in, and I had to do the whole thing, and my husband bailed on it. Anyway, so I did this P90X, and I had never felt or looked better. I didn't really focus on the nutrition aspect. Still wasn't super into that. Anyway, we had planned this Hawaii trip with a bunch of my husband's friends who were also doing the P90X thing. And so, and I looked awesome. Like I had my best body ever and felt really good. And, but didn't have, it was interesting because that call today from, is it Raina? That call this morning, how she talked about having a plan after your program.
Yeah.
I didn't have a plan after P90X. I just did P90X and then I was going to, you know, keep running or keep doing whatever. But, so after P90X, I kind of gained back some of the weight. I didn't lose a ton of weight, but I gained back some weight and my body didn't look as good. And so I was like, oh, I guess I need to keep keep doing stuff to keep my body good. So then I just started doing other programs like PiYo and Slim and Six and, you know, all those. I have a bunch of them in my drawer. I have like 7 or 8 of them. And so I kept doing it, but I wanted to do something that I could maintain like maybe 4 days a week or whatever. So I've just always kind of exercised. And then we had a surprise when I was 40 a couple of years ago. We thought we were done having kids. We couldn't have kids, so we just kind of didn't prevent it. And we got pregnant when I was 40. And so I was kind of freaking out because we had given away all of our stuff and we were done doing the baby thing. We were too old. I had worked really hard on my body and didn't want it to go to pot again. And anyway, just had a lot of conflicting feelings, even though we had struggled so hard with infertility. And so I felt really guilty about not wanting another baby. But so I was determined that I was going to have a really good pregnancy. My pregnancies weren't bad, but my first one was really good. I only gained with my son. Now this was 15 years ago. I only gained 22 pounds. And it came off in 5 days. Like I was back to normal in 5 days. I was like, oh, this is easy. Didn't know what the big deal was. So
90% of pregnant women will slap you in the face.
I know. So then my daughter, 8 years later, so they're 8 years apart. So 8 years later, I have my daughter and I gained it still wasn't bad. It was only 30 pounds, but it took a lot of work to get it off. And I was like, oh, this is a lot harder than the first one. And so then this third one, I'm old and it's harder and harder to keep this off. And so I was really worried about that. And so I was determined to have a really good pregnancy. So I worked out 5 to 6 days a week with my pregnancy and gained 27 pounds. And I was really happy. But then afterward, it still was that last 10 pounds is really hard to get off. And so, so I kind of upped my exercise and I did P90X again. I was like, it worked for me once. I'm going to do it again. And it totally did. It was awesome. And I loved it, but it was harder the second time because I knew what I was in for. So it was harder. But I did it. I love Tony. I love and hate him, but it was really good. And I met my goals. And ever since then, I've just I had a plan afterward. I was like, okay, after P90X, I have to have a plan. I have to do something after to keep this up. So I went right into 21 Day Fix and did a couple rounds of that. And then that's kind of when when you found me, Audrey, that I was kind of wondering what to do next. And so it was really, you found me at just the right time. And you're like, have you ever thought about coaching? I'm like, no. I've always seen those things after the workouts, talking about Beachbody coaches. I'd never once ever thought about it. And so then I listened to all that, the coach sneak peek and stuff. I'm like, why aren't I doing this? I do their programs every day.
Yeah. And
the only thing I'm not doing is Shakeology, and I really want to do it. So what is my problem? So then I was like, yeah, let's do it. So ever since then, though, I literally have not missed a workout. I've worked out 6 days a week, Shakeology every single day. And I feel awesome. I feel great. I don't concentrate on numbers. I just concentrate on how I feel and how my clothes fit because my weight just, it fluctuates. I'm guessing with, you know, with muscle and stuff like muscle weight and stuff like that. Cause I haven't lost a ton, but my clothes fit a lot better and my body is transforming in ways I've never seen it transform before. So it's been really cool.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah.
Another spin, Katie, because I know this is where you're at right now. And honestly, probably most of us on the team is sharing the financial transformation. And that's something that they talked about in the group that we were doing. And it's hard to open up such a private sector of your life. But there is power in sharing, you know, that weekly check coming in, whether it's $20 and you can take your husband out to lunch, or $60 and you can fill up your car with gas. And this is something I need to be better with as well. But showing and relating to people how part of my story for starting with Beachbody is to help my family. I needed some for my brain, but we needed a little bit extra income for savings. We were living paycheck to paycheck. And so we've really been able to step away from that, like the pinch on our marriage and our family. And so keep that in mind too. And maybe, because there's so many ways you can tell your story. It can be physical, it can be with health, it can be financially. So keep that in mind too with these questions.
Okay.
Which you're definitely going to have to do these. Like we could do a call later, or if you want to do them with your husband, you could go through them with your husband. So you both will have to let me know because we're almost out of time. BK, I'm so happy you hopped on with us. You guys, BK is one of our newest coaches. I'm going to be giving him a shout out on our team page today. He is, he started his journey. He's been running with his daughter and doing some 5Ks, and then she got married and has kind of fallen off the face of the earth. So he's joining us, and I'm so excited to have you, BK. If you can unclick, you're muted right now, but if you want to unclick your microphone and tell us a little bit about your story. We're just on number 1. How did you fall down the rabbit hole of needing to transform yourself physically and emotionally? So you can either once again, or for the first time in your life, reach your true physical, emotional, and even spiritual potential. And I'll give you a few seconds if you can't figure it out. Sometimes there's not an input, like if you're on a computer or something. Otherwise, I'll close out with my story. But we host these weekly meetings, BK, at 10 a.m. on Mondays. So you'll see them on the team page.
I right-clicked over my picture. You guys are like on the side. Is that how your guys' screen is?
Yeah, because I have that open.
Yeah, so I right-clicked and then it said mute, unmute.
I'm on my phone and I just tapped the screen and everything came up.
He's there.
BK, say hello. I don't know, remember when I think someone hopped on once and they didn't have an audio like with their computer, I don't know. Okay, well, I'll just share mine. Thanks for joining us. And we do want to hear your story. Okay, so my story, I'm going to go back a bit. In 2013, was it, Laura? Wait, when did we sign up? 2014. So 2014, my mother-in-law and brother-in-laws were living, or my father-in-law and brother-in-laws were living with us because my mother-in-law passed away from cancer. And it was so much. I wouldn't express myself as an emotional eater. And that year I had Briggs and Callie both under the age of 3. And then I had my in-laws move in, and like I totally turned to food. And it was a rough time in my life. And I just lost myself, really. I had quit my job so I could be home, because every time I left home exploded. And so I quit my job at the hospital. And so I felt really disconnected from the world. I felt really confined in the walls of my own home. And it felt like there was a missing factor in my life. And an expression that I've kind of coined onto my fitness page is find your spark. Because after a month or two into coaching, my husband looked at me and he said, "You have found your spark again. Like, I have my wife back." and that just hit me so hard that I had given everything to everybody. I was just nurturing everybody except for me. And I was filling everybody's needs except for my own. And so I've always been a very goal-oriented person and very driven. And so to not have anything to work towards per se, it was just rough. I just was really lost. And so when the coaching opportunity presented itself, I was really like, I'm good. Like, I'm a personal trainer. And then I tried to work out and they kicked my butt. And I got so sore. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe this is pretty legit. And then, hey, Katie, can you mute your screen?
Yes, sorry. Are you listening
okay.
to Elmo right now?
It's just hard to follow my train of thought. Anyway, so I started, I finally did do a sneak peek into coaching, and I thought, you know what, I could do this. This could be the missing link that I've been looking for. And so I jumped in, and I was really skeptic, and I honestly was going to send Shakeology back at the end of the month because I'd never been a shake person. But I was open enough at least to try it. And I did 21-day fix in Shakeology, and after 2 weeks, my husband and I were both drinking the shake, and after 2 weeks, we were just in it. We knew that it was a great fit, and even if financially it didn't help us, we were both feeling better, and it was going to be worth it. And so from there, it's just, I've been totally locked in. It's helped me so much emotionally. It's helped me, my body. I've shared this with some of you guys that I had a lot of acid basically in my stomach. My system's pH was just off after Callie was born. And then, you know, having that increase of stress in my life with my in-laws living here. And it balanced my system, and it held my GI tract, and I had been throwing up monthly, and it cured it after 2 months. I haven't thrown up since. Hey. So, yeah, that's my story. That's how I got started, and that's why I'm still here, because we feel awesome in my house, and our immunity is so good, you guys. Oh my gosh. I just want to give Shakeology to all the sick kids I see. Like, here, drink this. Okay, so comment on the team page. I would love to interview and hear your guys' stories. So that is my number one. But if you would prefer to do this just with your husband, like on your own time, whatever, I can respect that. But otherwise, I would love to hear the insides and outsides of your story. And the key to this, like I said, is recording it and going back, and you're literally going to transcribe it out. And you're going to have so much material for your own personal page and how to share your story, how to connect with people. People are going to connect with you, Katie, when you talk about infertility. There's so many, there's so much infertility issues going on. And that's something that a lot of people can draw strength from you from. So I would share that more. I didn't know that piece of your story. And Laura, I mean, we've definitely had discussions, so keep rocking it and keep sharing that story. And the more vulnerable you are, the more you're going to connect with people. So on our team page, let's just, I'll post some times that work for me, and let's see if that works for you. And we can figure out all of our stories and different ways that we can share them with people. All right, thanks for hopping on. We'll continue next Monday for our new coach Q&A and maybe a live power hour. So every other week we'll do our team call just like this. All right, have a wonderful day.